Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Inati Asavelambula and welcome back to another episode of Testimony Fridays. So today I decided to do part 2 of my life update because I feel like I just ended off the video with hi guys, I'm living with depression, but in actual fact my story doesn't end there. So last week I had planned to upload a video, but then Telkom happened. I couldn't upload it. It was just refusing, and I was like, you know what, let me just save that video for some other time. And yeah, and for the people who have been sending me messages, telling me that, we're with you, we love you, and we are praying for you, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So before we start, you know the rules. Please do subscribe to my channel. If you haven't, do like, to comment, to share, and also if you want to be the first person to be notified when I do upload a video, just press the notification bell and you automatically are part of the Savvy family. So yeah, let's begin today's talk. So as I had mentioned in the previous video, Uguti, end 2020, beginning of 2021, I was operating on reserve. Like Benditini was like tired, and physically and emotionally I was strained because of everything that had happened, and not just the losses that I had suffered, but there were just a lot of things that have been weighing me down. So yeah, they kind of like affected my health in a not interesting way. I don't know which way. But then fast forward to March, after my mom's funeral, German operator go reserve. After the funeral, the car just stopped. I just felt sick. I started falling sick, and I remember the first thing that was like ibin sokolisa was like hectic tension, headaches, and it was so bad, like ingat your brain is about to explode. And I remember going to the doctor, and then she gave me meds, prescribed meds for me. They really didn't work. And also during that time, I was also struggling with sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. I think first, the reason why I wasn't sleeping at first was the fact that I was suffering from sleep paralysis. Yes. So what would happen is that, sleep paralysis, where your brain would be awake but your body is asleep, and it was like a struggle throughout the night because I'd always fight for them to be in sync. And once I had snapped out of it, just for a few minutes, it's like it would give me just 2 minutes to breathe, to catch my breath, because I've been fighting, and then I'll go back to that. So that it would happen like I don't know how many times at night, and it was really frustrating at first, but then it got so hectic that I started having like nightmares, and I was also hallucinating. So it was really bad. It got scary now, and I remember I stopped sleeping in my room because I was like, Sana, if lento ila room, so I'd rather not sleep there. So I moved to the living area, but then when I was there, I was like, you know what? These sleep paralysis and nightmares are so hectic, and they're quite scary, and they're tiring at the same time. So the best option is for me not to sleep. So I would sit on the couch, and I wasn't even thinking. I would just listen to music. And Maverick City music kept me up at night. So I just sit there. I wouldn't really think. I wouldn't really think of anything. It's like my brain, like I had mentioned, that my brain would it was like a blank, a corn. It doesn't want to think. It don't want to do anything. It doesn't want to work. So I'd spend the night, and I think after a week of not sleeping, because the next day I'd be really tired and I wouldn't be able to function. So the second time I went to the doctor, I think I went there because I had like stomach cramps and severe abdominal pains. I think also I had like body aches, like back pains. There was a lot that was just happening during that time. And then also I suffered from heart palpitations and anxiety attacks. And then when I went there, I was treated for anxiety, but meds really didn't work. I was on antibiotics. I was on a lot of meds, and it was so tiring and depressing. And then the last time I visited the doctor, I don't know how many times I visited the doctor, but the last time I went there, it was when I wasn't sleeping and I was having those nightmares and I was too fatigued. Because I remember one time I was sitting in front of my PC and I had to submit a report for one of my projects, and my brain just shut. And I was just sitting there. I couldn't think. I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't remember what was happening in my project. I just didn't know anything. But nothing was coming. And I remember sending an email to my boss saying that I don't know what's happening with me. My brain just shut. I don't remember anything and doesn't want me to do, I won't be able to submit the report. And I decided then because I was also tired, like literally tired at the office, I would just yawn the whole time. And I went back to the doctor, and she was like, listen, you keep coming here, and it's like I'm treating all these symptoms and it's so evident that you have depression, so I'd like you to see a clinical psychologist. And I was like, okay, it's fine. So she referred me to a clinical psychologist, and then I went there for my first session. I really didn't know what to say, because I'm like, I've only seen therapy sessions only in TV, in movies and all of that. But I was like, okay, because I really don't know what to say. And I think at that time I attended 3 sessions. I think that I was just complaining about life and everything that has ever happened in my life. But life is so unfair, and this is not where I want to be, and I've just suffered a lot of losses. Why? What's happening with my life? So I think I was just complaining a lot. And then after my 3rd session, things got worse. I isolated myself. My friends, when people, that meme that says, Lord, your children bore me, that was me. People irritated me. Even my friends, they would try and call me. I didn't answer the phone, and sometimes they would ask, why didn't you pick up my calls? I've been trying to call you, and I'd be like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to say I was mean, but for people who know me, I'm a very quiet person, right? And okay, I do talk a lot when I'm comfortable around you, then I can go on and on, but generally I'm like an introvert and I'm a bit shy. But Sana, depression just somehow is just assertive, I would just talk, I'll tell you, but I didn't feel like picking up the phone, and I was more comfortable staying in a dark room, closed curtains. I don't want any light. And a whole week, since we were working remotely, so you find that the whole week I would be indoors. I wouldn't go outside. Literally, I wouldn't even open my door, because I was like, and what else was happening? I wasn't eating. I would have nausea. I was constipated, and just little things would really irritate me. I just don't remember. One of my friends, and then I think he left something. And where it's not supposed to be. It was supposed to be. And then after he left and then I saw it, I was so mad. I was so pissed off. I felt like calling him and telling me, hey, can we make a client and to return it? And then I'd be so irritated and so angry. I would start throwing things and stuff, especially if I couldn't find something, because I also realized in memory, I had memory loss. I'd literally forget things. I'd leave my room, go to the kitchen, sit in the window. When I'm there, I don't remember anything, and it would really frustrate me. And then because I don't remember, I get so angry, and it was just getting worse because I didn't understand what was happening with my body. Because every time I went to the doctor, I'd be told it's depression related. So it was really frustrating, and I was like, I I don't know what's happening with me, and I really didn't understand it. And during that time, I really didn't fully understand what depression was. I just knew depression, but I didn't know ubunzulu bayo. And it felt like my body was failing me, and it was so painful for me to go through all of those symptoms. And then later on, okay, I don't know what just happened, but as I was saying is that it got to a point where I was like, you know what, my body is failing me and I cannot function. There's nothing that I can do, because like I would force my brain to actually do like work, but it wasn't active. It just shut. And it was really frustrating, and I decided, you know what, let me just go visit the doctor. So I went there, and when I got there, she was like, you know what, you're not okay, this is serious, you need to be admitted for in-house therapy. And for me, I didn't understand it, but in-house therapy, how is it different from the sessions that I go to where I see my psychologist maybe once a week or whenever? And then she was like, we need to be admitted immediately. And then whilst I was still like puzzled what's happening, and she went on to say that I have to be admitted at a psychiatric hospital. After she said that, my brain just shut. I was like, and she was going on explaining to me this is so important, and also that it's really going to help you. I highly recommend it. People who went there came back and they were okay, they were good. So I strongly believe this is going to work for you. And as she was like going on talking about that, like I was like, she was talking background, but because I'm like, to me in my head, when she said psychiatric hospital, like a mental institution, I was like, I'm crazy. And I was thinking about the times where I would talk alone, times I would like hallucinate, and times where I'd have nightmares, times where it was just, you know, I was just locking myself in the room. I don't want to like socialize with people. So I was like, girl is cray. And then she was like, you know what, I'll give you time to think about it. Please just don't take much time, because you really need help ASAP. And so she gave me her contact details. But so when you're ready and you've decided, please do call me, and then so that I can book for you. So I went home and I cried, obviously, because I was like, am I really that sick? And I told my sister, and I told who? I don't know who else I told, and my friends, that I'm actually going there. And I judged myself. I honestly thought that I was crazy, like I'm mad, I'm going to a mental institution. And then I called them, and then I was like, you know what, I remember this other time I had a breakdown, like it was so bad. And I spoke to one of my friends, and he gave me advice. Like, he was there, he was supportive, he was listening to me, because I felt like life, like, what is happening, God? This is too much. I can't take it anymore and stuff. I told him about the fact that I have to go to a mental institution there, and she was like, you know what, it's going to do good for you. You need time to heal and to recover. You'll come back victorious and all of that. And I was like, okay, you know what, it's fine. I am going to go there. I'm going to give it a try, because I really need help and I'm sick. And so I called my doctor and I told her, it's fine, I can go, I will go. Then same day, I get a call from the hospital, and they like, when can you come? And I think at that time, Ansakumule sitting a date, and I'm like, no, how about I come month end? Because I felt like I needed to prepare, because I don't know what's happening there now, what to expect. And because I was going to be there for 21 days. So I was like, okay, at least give me till month end. I think till month end, I had 10 or 11 days. And then the hospital was like, no, your doctor said that you have to be admitted immediately, so we cannot stretch it that long. And I was like, okay, just give me time to think about it, and then I'll give you a call. And they're like, okay. And then after I dropped the call, I cried again, because I'm like, what is happening? Am I really sick? Like, how did I get here? And I didn't even look up depression, like severe, like depression on its own mind, but I felt like in Lela, they were like rushing everything, but Nyani, I am sick. And remember then, I was just judging myself, but okay, is crazy, like diakola, and it was just too much. And I cried, and I thought, okay, I looked at my calendar, okay, will I have time to prepare and stuff, because this is like short notice for me, and I'm going somewhere far, because the hospital is in another province in KZN, and I'm in the Eastern Cape. So I was like, Sana, what's happening? Like, I'm going to Valelo, basically. And to be honest, I did think about the whole things of his straight jacket, and just be, I was just scared. I was scared. And then after that, obviously I did speak to my sister. I spoke to my friends, and I was like, okay, I've made the decision. I'm going to go on the 25th of May this year. So I gave them a call. I was like, it's fine, I've decided. I will go on the 26th of May. And then they sent me some application forms that I needed to fill in, and rules, and what to bring and what not to bring. And I was going through those. I was like, guys, is this really happening? Because I was looking at the list of things not to bring and things to bring, and I was like, guys, in Diakul, like I'm really sick. And then I did all that, submitted my application forms, and then they checked with my medical aid, and I was approved. And then they're like, we will be expecting you. And then friends came over to chill with me, so we were still joking about it, talking about, oh my gosh, okay, we are cray, you're going to a mental institution, you're going to be locked up. So they came over, and I was like, okay, at least we're not supposed to eat like sugary stuff, so can y'all guys buy me some chocolate, like cake, buy me pizza, and all the things that I know that I won't be able to eat there. So my friends came over, I think they came over the day before we left. So when they came, they bought me pizza and some cake, and we had fun, even though in my head I was like, Sana and Valelo, and we were just joking about it. Talk about my friend is going to a mad house, Valelo going to a mental institution, she's mad, and all of that. And then that same day they called me to say that everything is ready, and they wanted to know a dietary plan. And then I told them that I'm vegetarian, so they were like, it's fine, they're going to prepare that for me. And then the following day, so I sorted out things for a transport. So my sister came over, and then they were like, okay, they're going to take me there the next day. So on the 25th, I was ready to go early in the morning. I was accompanied by my sister and a friend of mine and a cousin, because I don't want a lot of people, because it was surreal for me. So we left early in the morning, and on the way my sister was actually quiet, and she actually cried. And I was like, guys, so if you're crying, what must happen to me? Yabo. So we went there, and I was not so excited on the way, because I was like, I'm going there to spend 21 days, and the rules were they're going to take our phones, and we were not supposed to communicate with anyone for the first 10 days. So that on its own was just too much. So we went there, and we arrived, and they did everything to sanitize, and at the gate, and then they called. So it's during COVID more, so that you were not allowed visitors. That was the other thing. I was like, because there won't be any visitors, there won't be anything. So we got there, and then so there are like 2 gates. So there's one gate where parking, like for clients parking, and then there's the other gate where it's the facility. So we cannot go beyond that gate. So I took my clothes, offloaded my stuff, and then they were accompanying me. And then when we got there, quick gate here, the security guard is like, that's where your family ends. They have to go. They can't move past this gate. And